1 minute. You want to play musical chairs?
Back. Jane, are you good? Jane's good. Good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, January 7th, 2026, and we'd like to welcome everybody to the board meeting. We'll call this meeting to order at 9 a.m. Our meeting is live streamed, and you can join us online by going to our website. Other viewing options are available on tctvonline.com. Before we get started, I'd like to remind everyone to mute their phone. You can do this by pressing *6. Please unmute your phone when your agenda item is ready to be discussed. For those joining via computer, please unmute your microphone and turn on your camera when the agenda item is called. All other items must remain muted with their cameras turned off. Thank you. Deb, is anybody signing the guest? Is there any guest speakers, public comment signed in?
Public comment?
Yep. Oh, we have to do the pledge of allegiance first. I always do this.
Welcome and sign the guest list.
Welcome everybody. Sign the guest list. It's my first meeting as a chair, so it's going to be a little awkward, especially for me. So, should we do the pledge of allegiance?
Hey, let's do that.
Would you mind leading us,
I would be
former chair?
Absolutely. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner. All right. We have, I already did the public comment, I already asked. We have no non-agenda items. Non-agenda items, we're going to do a presentation report. Is our employee recognition for January 2026. For continuous years of service, Kelly Fulton, HR technician. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Oh. You have to go.
It just-
That would have been fun.
We're talking about the seats, everybody, because we're wondering.
Not employees, not us.
All right, it is time to recognize the county employees having anniversaries this month and thank them for their continued service. Our county team is made up of many great individuals, and here are the people celebrating in January. First is Bill Dotson at Public Works, 17 years. Jerry Marquis at Public Works, 17 years. Deborah Jacob, treasurer, 12 years. Jeremy Dietrich, District Attorney's Office, 12 years. Tommy Cyber, Community Development, 12 years. Susan Moran at the Clerk's Office, 8 years. Jared Hunter at Public Works, 8 years. Ramon Ponce Oliveira, HHS, 7 years. Milton Hoffman, Solid Waste, 7 years. Angela Jordan, HHS, 5 years. Justin Weiss, Solid Waste, 5 years. Brittany Maffin, Library, 4 years. Randy Thorpe, Emergency Management, 4 years. Josh McKinney, Public Works, 2 years. Tim Estrada, Public Works, 2 years, sorry. Matthew Anderson at the Sheriff's Office, 1 year. Patty Salinas, HHS, 1 year. And Amelia Zuidema in the DA's office at 1 year.
Fantastic. Yay. I'm glad, like we said before, I'm really happy we do these, every month. So, Commissioner Bell.
Oh, it really is wonderful. Thank you for bringing us the list and for this opportunity to publicly celebrate longevity. Our employees are our greatest asset. I think we say this every month. We mean it every month. You know, as you're going down the list, there are 2 people from Public Works with 17 years of experience. And we just had that huge storm, and we heard from so many people what an amazing job Public Works did in terms of storm response. And it has everything to do with longevity and experience and expertise. And that's why the county is good at doing the things we do, because we have great people working here and they'll stay. We had 3 people with 12 years, including Deb Jacob in the back of the room. Congratulations. So, you know, that's why we're able to do the things we do, is the excellent people we have working here. So I'm really grateful.
Absolutely.
And
Sure.
I
Same.
simply echo my colleague's statements.
And I will just add one more thing. We have a first day for our new county council, Brian
Welcome.
Lively. We want to welcome. It's my first day as chair, so it's first for both of us. I'll be messing up and you don't have anything to do today. Thank you very much, Kelly. Okay, moving on to item number 6, our Tillamook County Financial Reports. Deborah Jacob, Director of Financial Services and Treasurer. Good morning.
Okay, I will be presenting a monthly financial report this morning. This will be pretty quick. Just share this so everybody can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so this report covers through December 31st, 2025. It is a preliminary report as December numbers aren't finalized to date. It is for the general fund and shows a good mid-year position with a positive net result of about 3.8 million. That's year to date. Note that from January to June, this is our spend down cycle. So we're currently at our peak for the year in our revenue and net position. What's underneath of that is property tax is currently at 91% received of budgeted amounts. This is in line with prior years. Timber revenue is at 75% of budgeted amount. This is a strong mid-year position. Interest earnings is at 62% of budgeted. Now, that's been great so far this year. It's ahead of budget pace, but interest rates have dropped in the last 2 months. So we want to keep an eye on that. And just to go in a little bit more detail on the investment interest, we have 2 major streams of investment income. One is our direct investments that have guaranteed rates of return. Those rates of return are dropping as we see lower and lower available interest rates. But those won't affect immediately. It's going to be a group combination as we move forward in those investments. The other one is LGIP, our local government investment pool, which does have variable rates of return. They can set rates at any time, and we have seen it drop in the last 2 months twice. Okay, so as we look forward on that, we want to consider a slower growth rate in our interest earnings. Intercounty transfers, these are currently below budgeted levels. This is just a timing issue. We believe we'll be caught back up in January on those. For spending, our total expenditures are currently at $12 million. Personnel services is 8.4 million of that total 12 million. That is, personnel services is 2 million below budgeted year-to-date amounts. Again, this is part of timing issues with our adjustments, retro pays coming out shortly, as well as our vacancies that we still carry. Capital and contingency are largely untouched at this point in the year. Contingency, we expect that. Capital is a timing issue. So this is a 3,000 level highlight of our monthly financials.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We say this all the time with these two. I really appreciate this. This helps. You know, I'm not a numbers guy like you all are, and this helps me kind of see where we're going and what decisions we're making and are going to make. It really helps us, for me, to get some kind of focus on what we're doing.
I agree. I'm really grateful. This is for folks who are joining us online or later watching the video. This is a relatively new practice to have you do this with us every month. And I think it's very helpful for the public, for leaders, for everybody in the county, just to be able to track where we're going on a regular basis. So thank you.
I agree completely with my colleagues, and I really want to thank you, Deborah. Your analysis skills are fantastic, and your ability to bring us something, not just numbers, but an actual, here are the numbers and here's what they mean. I think that makes all the difference. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And I do appreciate, because this is the second time we've heard this. We heard it in the leadership meeting, and I appreciate that you gave me some more update on the interest when I had that question. So that's awesome. So thanks again.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to our legislative administrative agenda, agenda item number 7. is consideration of a Fifth Amendment to Oregon Health Authority 2025 to 2027 intergovernmental agreement number 185828 for the financing of public health services. Marlene Putnam, Administrator, Health and Human Services. Oh, it's not Marlene.
Surprise.
It's Maya, I'm sorry. I was
Yeah,
reading and
sorry.
not looking.
Last minute, my name is Maya Van Rock, admin specialist. I'm just filling in for Marlene for these two items. So for this first item, I won't pretend that I know more about it than what is on the paper. But I believe they're just updating descriptions for our program element 12, which is Public Health Emergency Preparedness Program. I believe they're just adding the Oregon Hospital Preparedness Program to that program element. Unfortunately, at this time, we don't get any more money for that program element. It's just updating definitions.
Great, questions?
I don't have any questions. Thank you.
None for me. Thank you.
None for me. I think we're ready for a motion.
Mr. Chair, consideration of a Fifth Amendment to Oregon Health Authority 2025-2027 intergovernmental agreement number 185828 for the financing of public health services. I move approval.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Do you have any further discussions? Hearing none, call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Don't be- looks like you're judging me.
No, I was smiling. You did a lovely job.
Okay,
I'm
moving.
trying to be encouraging. I'll frown.
No, don't. Moving on to agenda item 8. Also, Maya, consideration of modification number 1 to Personnel Services Agreement number 6733 with Ready Northwest LLC for public health emergency preparedness, coordination, and support services. Maya?
Yes. So this amendment, unfortunately, we had to reduce the not to exceed contract amount, not by too much, just under 43,000 for this fiscal year. Ed with Ready Northwest and his team have been really great. They were able to reduce their workload to accommodate for this. This is just primarily due to budget constraints, not getting as much money as we thought we would, and also having to pay for other kind of new things like a health officer contract rather than having that in-house. So it's just kind of made that budget shorten a little bit.
Okay.
No, I appreciate this. Ed has been with us for a long time. He does a great job in our emergency preparedness, specifically relating to public health. So I think we always, we talk about Randy, who is a fantastic emergency manager countywide, but public health has very specific recommendations or requirements around emergency preparedness. And during the pandemic, we all saw exactly why that is true, and the burden of that emergency landed with public health. And Ed was crucial at that time, and his work with us continues to be crucial. So I'm glad that we were able to find a way to make some adjustments and keep his expertise on board.
Commissioner Bill?
I would echo that and just say how grateful I am and we are for Ed's service. He does an extraordinary job.
I would agree. Ready for a motion?
All right, Mr. Chair, in consideration of modification number 1 to Personal Services Agreement number 6733 with Ready Northwest LLC for Public Health Emergency Preparedness, PHEP, coordination and support services, I move approval.
I second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. It carries. Thank you, Maya.
Thank you.
And we'll move on to item number 9, agenda item 9, consideration of an order in the matter of adopting the Tillamook County Information Services Department Artificial Intelligence Administrative Policy. Randy Norbum, Information Services Department Operations Manager. Good morning. Happy New Year.
Good morning. Happy New Year. Thank you for the opportunity to get to bring this to you today. I'm presenting the Artificial Intelligence Administrative Policy for your consideration and adoption. This policy establishes clear standards for the responsible, ethical, and secure use of AI technologies by county employees. And it reflects our commitment to safeguarding data, ensuring transparency, and
improving operational efficiency while embracing emerging technologies in a thoughtful and measured way. Policy outlines guiding principles for responsible AI use, including data privacy, accuracy, and accountability. And it also specifies prohibited uses and identifies approved tools such as Copilot Chat with Microsoft and ChatGPT. It also emphasizes the importance of training and transparency in all applications. To support this rollout, I've also prepared a 2-page how-to guide for county employees. This will be available on the intranet. It'll tell you how to access ChatGPT and Copilot. By adopting the policy, we will position Tillamook County to leverage AI responsibly while also moving toward our goal of technology enablement. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, well, thanks. I appreciate the work you're doing on this. We've been talking about this for a while, and this is a very important policy to have. AI is scary in some ways, but very, very helpful to help us be more efficient. So, Commissioner Bell?
Thank you. I wondered if you can just outline in brief what you want other department heads or any employees to do if they're considering using AI. Just talk about what's in the policy. Like if somebody's thinking about using ChatGPT, what should they do as a Tillamook County employee?
As a Tillamook County employee, they should reference this how-to document and the policy. They should be sure of the use, their use case, ensuring that they're not putting sensitive data into these applications. But if they're also considering other software, they should bring that to information services so that we can help them with the implementation and also ask these vendors questions regarding how they're using that data and if they're selling it or if they're keeping it contained, which is really important. As far as ChatGPT and Copilot, Copilot is where I would suggest people to start because it's within our tenant. So, and ChatGPT is also one of the approved tools, but it might be easier to start with Copilot because you already have it and you can just log right in. So, yeah.
Thank you. That's helpful. I am grateful for your work on this also. I think there are such amazing applications, amazing possibilities for AI for efficiency in particular, but also it's not entirely dependable. And so there are also hazards for sure. And I'll tell you a short story about this. My brother has been using ChatGPT for health applications, and he occasionally he'll send me screenshots of these conversations that he's having with ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will co-sign his biases. So that's very interesting. He'll ask it a question, and maybe it's a trick question or whatever. And ChatGPT there's this crazy application where it sounds like a super supportive friend. And so it talks to him as though like, Joe, you are doing all the right things. And it's very interesting. And if he were exclusively relying on that for his health information, he would be in trouble. So it's not totally dependable. So I think we absolutely need to figure out how to move forward and use it to our best need. But it's also, there are problems inherent in it.
I agree. We should allow it to help us with coming up with ideas, but not be the brain.
Mm-hmm.
It should be a processor of what we're putting in. So what we are putting in should be with the intention of I'm going to sort through what it's giving me and use the best content out of that. And if I have to go through and try it again, do a different prompt just to see what better information I can get and then validate that. Um, But yeah, I think it will be really good for improving certain processes and giving ideas, but definitely use your thoughts, use your ideas, use your intelligence and cross-validate.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think the key word was validate or cross-validate, right? Because I think there's been so many examples out there of where Chat GPT or whichever one has created something that's completely false, but it sounds really good, right? So the validate and cross-validate are certainly key pieces, but on the same frame, in terms of writing a letter, or I'll just use an example out of my life. So when I got nominated for the AOC presidential role, my nominator came up to me after and he said, you know, I used Chat GPT to write that, right? Because I'm not a words guy. And so he just went through and he went, what do I like about Aaron? And he put in those 5 words or whatever, and Chat GPT turned it into a lovely 2-paragraph, thing to say. But it's that cross-validate, right? It's knowing that you're putting the information in that you want to see come out and then making sure that it really has captured it in the lens that you wanted, from the perspective that you wanted. All of those things are super important. So I would just say validate, cross-validate. These are crucial. So, but it's a very interesting and useful tool.
Definitely. Sometimes it does like to make up history. It'll be like, hey, I won this award. And it's like, you never won that award. Make sure you're reading it
Yeah.
really carefully.
Validate, validate,
It's the same- I
validate.
have the same feeling when I have used, even like the Google has the AI help. And you can always see what the source is. And I always like to go check that
Yep.
source. Because like I asked a question yesterday, but how many campgrounds does Tillamook County have? And then it produces a number, but then it also produces where it got that information so you can cross-validate, which I think that's it. So I think we're ready for a motion.
Okay. Mr. Chair, in consideration of order number 26-001 in the matter of adopting the Tillamook County Information Services Department Artificial Intelligence AI Administrative Policy, I move approval.
I second.
Okay, having a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Randy.
For recipes too.
Validate, validate, validate.
Moving on, agenda number 11, consideration of an order in the matter of designating liaison responsibilities for the Tillamook County Board of Commissioners for 2026. Isabel Gilda, Administrative Analyst. I'm really,
We skipped 10. You skipped.
I skipped 10. I believe it's the prerogative of the chair to change agenda. Let's go back to 10. Consideration of amendment number 1 to service agreement number 6728 with RFK Inc. for investment consulting services, Mary Jo Bigstead, Human Resources Analyst, Human Resources Department. Good morning. I'll get it eventually.
It's okay.
There you go.
Good morning. We
Morning.
did talk about retirement. So it was determined at the last quarterly meeting that the next step would be to have the Tillamook County Retirement Plans Investor, RVK, perform a necessary asset liability study of the plan. So we've included the amendment to the service agreement. And the scope of work is noted on page 3, but I just wanted to highlight a few things. The central purpose of the asset liability study is to examine the probable future consequences over extended periods of time of applying alternative asset allocation strategies to the system's investment assets in order to fund the liabilities created by the benefit provisions of the system. So RVK, they're going to analyze the current financial structure, the projected trends in the demographic composition, the benefit payments, payout ratios, our contributions, the actuarial and market funding rations, as well as the rate of return. They're also going to present us with projected contributions, funding levels, the liquidity requirements, and finally, the probability of various funding levels for those various potential asset allocation targets over the next 5, 10, and 20-year periods of time. And that's really important to have those various periods of time because we all don't retire out at the same day. So we've got to look to our past as well as our future. The plan will pay for the cost of the study. So basically, we just need to know where we are and where we're going. It's like when you take your car in for the necessary maintenance checkup. You know, but this car we plan on owning for the next 60 years or more. So that's all I have.
Okay, questions, Commissioner Scar?
I'm really excited for the study. One of the things
Why?
when we made the decision to go with RVK was that was kind of crucial for me. In the interview with them, they talked about this. You know, we know from our actuaries that if we contribute at the rate we contribute today, that, you know, in 20 years, we should be completely caught up and ready for what we need. That's a very 30,000 foot level sort of view of the plan. It doesn't actually take into account on, as you said, time-bound pieces of who's in the plan, when will they retire, all of those sorts of pieces, right? And so this is a checkup that instead of just saying, overall, you look good, it says, let's dig a little deeper and make sure you're good today and you're good 5 years from now and you're good 10 years from now. You know, that liquidity piece becomes important because we invest all of this. But there are times when we need to be paying it out, right? That's how retirement works. So they're going to actually take and do that deeper dive, which to me is really exciting and just really lets us be sure we're where we need to be. And it's an important time to do it. Having shifted new employees to PERS at the beginning of last year, we now have 2 plans. And so the state's job is to make sure PERS is funded, but we still have our responsibility to make sure that this plan is appropriately funded. And now we have sort of set boundaries on it, if you will, because everyone who's ever going to be in it is already in it today, which does allow that deeper dive as well. So I'm super excited, if you can't tell. Numbers person here. Numbers geek, sorry.
Great. Commissioner Mel?
Thank you. Well, I echo what my colleagues said, and I would just add that our relationship with RVK is new. And so I also think it's important to do this to establish a baseline with a new retirement manager to be able to figure out what we're doing moving forward. We need our baseline. And so I think it's very important and timely. Thank you.
I would agree with both of you. So I think we're ready for a motion.
All right. Mr. Chair, in consideration of amendment number 1 to services agreement number 6728 with RVK Inc. for investment consulting services, I move approval.
I second.
Having a motion and a second, any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank
Sorry
you.
about the
Thank you.
order. I just can't say aye at the same time. It's
Yeah, I have to, it's my cadence of when I mark out the one that I'm done with, right? It's when I call for the vote.
okay. Agenda item 11. Hi, Isabel again.
again.
Consideration of an order in the matter of designating liaison responsibilities for the Tillamook County Board of Commissioners for 2026.
Well, thank you. So the order before you today is for the liaisons for 2026. It's been our past practice to revise our liaisons every year. And this year, there wasn't a lot of changes. We met a couple of times, November 26th and December 31st at the board briefings, and where we discussed exchanging liaisons. But this year, there wasn't, there's only very few changes. So for those who don't know, the liaisons represent an important role for the commissioners because actually it shows where the commissioners have commitments and spend their time. You know, this year Commissioner Scar is president of AOC, so that's just a sample. So actually just for the record, the purpose of the liaisons is they serve as a steward of the county and develop expertise on behalf of the board and citizens. They represent the county and the public with regard to assigned departments and other assigned county entities and committees. Serve as the board's primary but not exclusive point of contact for a department director. So in the liaisons, you'll see each commissioner has been assigned different county departments. Which falls for the fulfilling of the coaching, accountability, and oversight needs for the department directors of the county departments and offices to which that commissioner is assigned a liaison. And they also work in advisory capacity with other elected officials and regularly share updates with board members during meetings when appropriate to keep other board members updated by issues and concerns within each department. So that department head has a liaison to go to when there are issues arising. Individual board members desiring to make decisions or create policies regarding department issues shall first present the request to the board for consideration and approval.
Great.
And so this year, as said, mentioned there wasn't too many changes, so that I think the commissioners had expressed concern. They were appreciative of the relationships they had built already and wanted to continue those. So
Great. Commissioner Bell.
Thank you. Thank you, Isabel, for all this work. Thank you for, I said this in a previous board briefing, for the herding cats job of contacting each of us multiple times to see where we're at with this. I appreciate this system because, as you said, we get to focus on relationships with organizations and with departments. And there are entirely too many for all of us to be spread in all of these places. And so it makes sense for us to concentrate our efforts in certain departments and certain organizations. There's still a lot, but we all couldn't do them all. So,
there are a lot.
so yeah, that's why this system works well. And I'm excited moving forward. And I would just let the public know that if you have questions or concerns about a certain department or function of the county, you can get on the website, see who the liaison is, and that's the best way to get information about that. You can ask any of us, but if you ask about a department to which Paul is liaison, I would refer you to him. So it's an efficient way for the public to reach us.
Correct. And I should mention also the board order also spells out the liaisons for our Chief Administrative Officer, Rachel Haggerty. And it spells out the districts, which never change every year.
Thank you.
You're reading my mind. Star.
No, I think this is great. We made very few changes. A couple of things that I was delighted to hand to Commissioner Fournier this year. One of them was the voting member seat on the Tillamook Lightway. So Commissioner Fournier has been the alternate for the past year, and I sat as the alternate for a couple of years while David was actually the voting member on that board. And with my expanded AOC responsibilities, it just felt like the right time to go ahead and step into that alternate role myself and make sure that way there's always someone in attendance and who can give it the time and attention it needs. Second one that I am stepping away from is the Housing Commission. This was a hard decision for me. I love the Housing Commission. In fact, I was one of the founders of the Housing Commission during my time at CARE before I even came to the county, working alongside Commissioner Bell Bartline. And I think that there's an opportunity always for fresh eyes and a fresh perspective to bring something to a group. We have Parker Salmons, who does a fabulous job. We have recently hired Elizabeth Whipperman as a part-time support for Parker. So that is now really a staffed county department, if you will, in a way that it hasn't been fully in the past. And so I'm delighted with the experience and expertise that sits there. And I think that Commissioner Fournier, again, with just fresh eyes and new energy can help guide them in additional direction. So sometimes changing things, even though relationships are really important, sometimes it's important to shift for other reasons as well. So I'm pleased to hand those two pieces off to Commissioner Fournier.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And those kind words. I think this is great. It was really interesting as a first year commissioner is, I thought, oh, we should rotate. The reality is just being in a year, I just realized, I'm just starting to develop these relationships. But what I also appreciate about the way we do things here is regardless of who the liaison is, we all are free to go and interact with those departments. And we do often. So I appreciate that too. So to me, this is just a procedural thing and I'm happy with the way it turned out this year. So, okay. Waiting for a motion.
All right, Mr. Chair, in consideration of Order 26-002 in the matter of designating liaison responsibilities for the Tillamook County Board of Commissioners for 2026, I move approval.
I second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Isabel. Okay, fellow commissioners, any board concerns today?
If I may, Mr. Chair, I would like to designate my time to Brian because it's his first meeting with us. Brian is our new full-time county council, and the public joins us online. They join us via live stream, and they watch these meetings on video afterwards. So this is the public's first introduction to you, and I wonder if you'd just take a few minutes and introduce yourself to the community.
Thank you, Commissioner. I appreciate you yielding your 30 minutes of time to me. Um,
Oh, boy.
Yep,
No.
there we go.
So I'm very grateful and excited to be here in Tillamook County. I previously was with the Cork County County Counsel's Office, and prior to that, I was legal counsel for the Oregon National Guard. And so just to have the opportunity to bring the knowledge and experience that I've accrued over the past 25 years or more to such a great county, right? And to join such a great team. I'm just really excited, right, for the work that lies ahead. And I know there's a lot of work, right, that needs to be done. And I'm happy to really jump in and help out where needed. So a little bit about me. I'm born and raised in Kansas. And joined the Naval Service right after high school. And after that, went to college, law school, and then went back into the military service. And so now, 25 years later, getting into civilian government service, but staying here in Oregon, and that was important. It's just Oregon's hard to beat. So super excited to be here in Tillamook County, and so thank you for this time and this opportunity.
Welcome.
I just want to thank you for your military service to the country, and now I'm looking forward to your public service to Tillamook County. I'm really excited about this.
Agreed.
Any other board concerns?
I don't know if we want to give an update on Highway 6 for anyone who's listening. I know that's a question that I see flitting through Facebook all the time.
Well, I feel like I've been talking about this quite a bit.
Yeah.
Currently open. I've been reading some people driving crazy through that area. I would request that everybody please drive safely. And you might have more updates as well, because you were involved with some of the Washington County side, but the good news is Washington County Board of Commissioners has declared an emergency for Highway 6, which will help open the door for us to get some state funding and some federal funding. That was a vital piece, because although we talk a lot about Highway 6, and Highway 6 is, I would say, more vital to Tillamook County's well-being than Washington County's, it's not in our county. So we needed that piece of the puzzle, and I know that this board reached out to that board, and graciously they did it. Do you have anything more to add about that at all?
I think just that we'll continue to partner with them going forward. They do have, right, wrong, or otherwise, more voices that they can speak to in the legislature than we do, and bigger voices that they can speak to in the legislature than we do. And they have, in fact, a legislative person. They've got their own lobbyists. So as we are pushing forward on how do we make sure that the state of Oregon, both staff at the highest levels of ODOT and the legislature, understand how important this roadway is, the partnership with Washington County, I think, is going to be really important. And so, Commissioner Fournier, we can talk about it just after this meeting, make sure that you've got all the right names in order, and I'll make the introductions. And let's keep them working with us, because I believe that they will. It's not going to be their highest priority in the same way it's ours. So we get to help them make it a high priority and build that partnership up even deeper with them.
Yeah, and I think that that's a huge part of what we've been doing, is just the more we,
Yep.
squeaky wheel is
Squeaky wheel.
what gets these folks involved, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for ODOT. They've been keeping us updated, very communicative with us regarding this. They have scraped out all that organic material, and they're laying rock down. We had on the Tuesday meeting, Bill Jablonski from ODOT gave us an update. So I feel like I've been talking about this in a lot of different places. And the other thing I was, reminded of today is we have some problems down south too.
We do.
Highway 101 and at Cascade Head is actually, the estimate for that is a little bit higher than the estimate for the repair at Highway 6 right now. So, this is why this is so important, because we only have so many roads leading out of Tillamook County, and we have a slide up in the Stucca. BLM. So there's a detour for that too. So I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. So I think it's similarly a partnership with Lincoln County as we look at 101, because I believe that is in fact in Lincoln County, which is why Bill Jablonski is not a huge part of that 101 slide.
Well, I was told that Chris told me it was in our
Is
county.
it in our county?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
We can confirm on that. I was sort of.
yeah, whether it's which side of the hump it's on
It depends on exactly
and make sure we're
And it's
getting,
ironic that all these problems are right on the border.
right? Exactly. So making sure that, and then making sure we have the right partners there as well. So lots of fun stuff. And then I don't know if you want to talk about the current emergency management stuff. I know I got an email from, I think it was Chris, yes, Chris or Randy, that said 16 million in damages and counting.
I would just echo that we're to both of my fellow commissioners' comments, we have to assess damages in Tillamook County, report that to the state. Then I believe that's thunder. I hope it is.
I hope it is too, because if not, I'm worried about, did you?
Your faces, it's because. of
Yeah,
building
I was
shit.
like, who upstairs is rolling a chair across what? And what do they have in it? Because it's very heavy.
Because the first time I was like,
Yeah, it's dramatic. So the county assesses damages in county, all of the counties that receive damages in a storm, assess those damages, turn them into the state. Then there's a county limit whereby we have to meet this limit in order to claim these damages. You know, we're way over our what we needed to assess, and then the state collects all those numbers, and if the state is over a certain number, then that's how we qualify for federal assistance. So yesterday we got documentation from our emergency manager and our public works director that the damages are at about 16.5 million. I think that's just in Tillamook County.
I believe that that's true.
So that probably we have qualified for what is required of the state in that. So in any case, there were a lot of damages, and our guys have turned in the numbers, and hopefully, you know, it has happened in previous storms that there wasn't enough damage statewide to qualify for assistance, but I think we will in this one.
the word is threshold.
Thank you.
Yes, yeah, and we will want to reach out to our federal folks and everybody to say, we think we're there. Because really the key to this, the reason it's important is it's federal FEMA money that has historically come back to help backfill this. And the blimp hanger is a large slice of, I think, of what is there, 5 million or something along those lines. And as the community and others are gathering funds and really working to figure out if there's a way to fix and repair the blimp hanger, these FEMA dollars could be exceptionally important there. So just thank you for that update. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Nothing else?
I don't think so.
Anything else? This was a sloppy first meeting. I apologize for that. I will
Great.
go ahead
Be
and,
back after the camera's off.
okay, thank you. I'll read other meetings and announcement. The commissioners will hold a board briefing on Wednesday, January 7th, 2026 at 2 p.m. to discuss weekly commissioner updates. This meeting will be held here in the Board of Commissioners Meeting Room 106 at the Tillamook Courthouse, 201 Laurel Avenue, Tillamook. The teleconference number is 1-971-254-3149, conference ID 866-914-607 #. The local Public Safety Coordinating Council teleconference that was scheduled for Monday, January 12th, 2026 has been canceled. And the Tillamook County Compensation Board will meet on Tuesday, January 13th, 2026 at 3 p.m. in the Board of Commissioners Meeting Room 106 at the Tillamook County Courthouse, 201 Laurel Avenue, Tillamook. The teleconference number for that is 1-971-254-3149, conference ID 866-914-607 #. The Compensation Board, as required by state law, ORS 204.112, will discuss the process to determine the compensation for the salaries of Tillamook County's elected officials. If you have questions, please contact Rachel Haggerty, Chief Administrative Officer at rachel.haggerty@tillamookcounty.gov. And with that, I will adjourn the meeting at 9:43.